Okay. Kicking into high gear, the race is on. Wheels burning rubber, we're never wrong. Power in the engines, fire in our veins. In the DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no slowing down. The checkered flag is calling, we're the crown. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead. In the DRL, we race with greed. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead. In the DRL, we race with greed. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the sounding, crowd shouting, victories within reach, no doubting. We're champions, born in the fight. In the DRL, we own the night. Degenerate race league, this is our creed. Fast and furious, it's all we need. It's all we need. It's all we won't look like. We own the track. We own the night. We own the night.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another wonderful round here at the Degenerate Racing League. We're going to be starting soon in just a moment and getting a look at the qualifying session tonight. We are at Brands Hatch, so let's take a look at the calendar and then we'll go through the standings during qualifying. We've got Barcelona. We've been there, done that. Donington Park, Coda, Indianapolis was last week. Brands Hatch in the rain. It's not only raining, it is absolutely flooded here tonight at Brands Hatch on 9/24. Then next week, we're going to be at the Hungaroring for the 1st of October. Skipping a week, the 24 hours of Nürburgring, then Spa-Francorchamps, Kyalami, back to more moisture. Suzuka, Watkins Glen, and the Red Bull Ring to finish this championship off for these wonderful 12 rounds that we have going on for us here at the DRL, folks. Let's get right over to the qualifying session and see what the drivers are up to right now. Right now, we've got Neil Kerbel with a 134.497, 135.192 for Mike Bowen. Cooper Atherton's got a 135.2 to his name, being his best lap last lap. And we've got 135, 135, 135 all the way from Cooper Atherton all the way towards Paul Hohen. Joshua Rodriguez is the first of the 36s. 36 for him. Norris Hugh, Frank Castle, then Philip Souza. Suazo, I believe is how it's pronounced. Burt Macklin with a 45, obviously not being one of his best laps out there, but he's doing his best and everybody is really trying. Joshua Rodriguez, though, with a really good lap, goes provisionally into pole position with a 134.355. doing a great job of negotiating these tricky conditions. It's not just wet out there, it is absolutely flooded. Look at those puddles everywhere that you can see. It is just shimmering and the cars are undulating and not having a great time, and Joshua Rodriguez has a little bit of a slip there, but it seems to be doing just okay in that number 93. This is going to give Neil Kerbel a run for his money, but qualifying is one thing. Your consistency in the rain will definitely be the thing you need to showcase the most. On board with Joshua Rodriguez as we approach Pilgrim's Drop. And I am still Fly Swatter Sauger as I am murdering flies left and right and center in my home right now. I apologize for the distraction. Westfield Bend for Joshua Rodriguez as he's still going out there, not improving by too much, just a tenth or two. Neil Kerbel is actually the one to watch out for as he's improved by 3/10, can provisionally take pole away from Joshua Rodriguez and walk away with his championship. Championship standings right now, Mike Bowen's in first place, Neil Kerbel's in second place, only 12 points separating the leaders. Then Daniel Hirsch, Cooper Atherton, Paul Hohen, Oliver Sorgen, Joshua Rodriguez, Burt Macklin, Eric Gakassian, and Spencer Braun. There's your top 10. Mitch Nyardi, Norris Yu, Frank Castle, Bradley Cooper, and Frederick Ma. There's your top 15, folks. The format for tonight, oh, there goes Mike Bowen, Big Bow Man, with a 133.780. Just pips away Neil Kerbel's best lap time, a 134.262. I was going to say the format for tonight is mandatory tires in this 145-minute race, so the drivers will have something to go for. Oh, this is not Indy. Oh, no. I'll take care of that. Thank you very much for letting me know, Tyler. You always got my back, brother man. And this is round 5 of the championship. Hope I spelled flooded right. Thank you again, Tyler. Here goes Daniel Hirsch, though, doing Hirschmobile things. He's rolling around in the number 48, trying to get some championship points to his name as well. There we go. Everything is looking just absolutely dandy right now. Thank you so much, Mike Noss, for the follow. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for being here and enjoying the stream with us. Just had to make sure everything was nip and tuck on my end before we got going. Daniel Hirsch, Neil Kerbel pipped away P1 again, 135.525, 134.2 for Mike Bowen his last lap, his best being a 133.780. We've got all these different manufacturers, 5 different manufacturers in the top 5. Nissan, GTR, McLaren, Aston, AMG, Ford, and a Porsche for your top 6. Then there goes a BMW in 7, so 7 for 7 there in the top 7. Rolling around with Mitch Nyardi. This is going to be his last effort as he comes through the Pilgrim's Rise. The Mantini Motorsport car. Here's Grant Zahara rocking the Yeti powered car. Ooh, dips a couple wheels off there at turn 2. And that might hurt him just a little bit there on his efforts. Yep, he's down 1.5 seconds right now. Mike Bowen, though, is out there to improve. He just went through T1 for the final time. He's got Let's Go Donovan, says Mags the Martin. Thank you very much for being here. Where is Donovan at? Donovan is in the pit lane right now. Or he is stopped out on track somewhere. He is in the pit lane right now. Donovan will go out in the second part of this qualifying session, so just getting rolling right now. Neil Kerbel still holding on to the best lap of the qualifying session with a 133.525 as Hirsch pulls off and into the runoff himself. Nyardi as well pulling off. That'll be the end of his qualifying session. And we can see that the drivers are ready to go as quickly as possible. Nelson Hernandez actually being the one to lead the charge, as well as the 119 if I'm not mistaken. Double check that. That's Mike Bowen. So Mike Bowen and Neil Kerbel both on valid laps themselves. Crossed the line just in time to get one more in on him. But Nelson Hernandez driving his jet ski around the wet track here that is powered by Ford. Let's see where Donovan is. Here's Don Donovan for Don Donovan Racing in the 333. Not seeing a lot of custom liveries tonight. That's surprising. Normally we see a lot of drivers with a lot of custom liveries. We got 30 of them here out on track right now. This is going to be a packed 90-second track, especially in these conditions. I can only imagine T1 isn't going to go very well for a lot of people. Neil Kerbel does not improve his best lap time by anything. It's a 133.7, just getting another installation lap in for himself. Mike Bowen in second place, Daniel Hirsch in third place, Joshua Rodriguez in fourth place, Spencer Braun is going to be in fifth, Oliver Sorgen in sixth, Eric the Boss Kakasian in seventh, eighth place going for Paul Hohen, Burt Macklin in ninth, Mitch Nyardi in 10th, Cooper Atherton in 11th, Norris Yu right now in 12th, Suazo is going to be in 13th, and we've got Frank Castle, Grant Zahara, and there's everybody who's in the pit lane right now. Nelson Hernandez out there warming up his tires, did a 141.8. I bet there's some seconds in there that he can improve on. But he is leading the charge right now for his class and division. Split qualifying for anybody that's wondering. We had the pros in the white plates, pro-ams in the gray plates, and then we've got the red plates for the amateurs. So split qualifying for everybody out on track. That way everybody has an opportunity to get 10 minutes of their driving time in. Really just helps all the drivers make sure that they have their spatial awareness and that they are not impeded by another driver out on track. You can manage the queue. Imagine the queue that would form if all 30 of these drivers are around this 90-second track. Gaps would be about 2 seconds apiece. Someone math me on that. Maybe 3 seconds apiece. That would be perfectly spaced out, but we know the world is not perfect. There goes Evans Vlog as he jumps up into 11th place, nip and tidy there. Squeezes right in between the pro category. Grant Zahara, Bradley Smith, excuse me, is the one I'm looking at, jumped up into 13th place. And he is out of category for sure, riding up there with the pros. Evans Vorg has done very well in these past couple of races. He obviously is hoping for a win in his class. Spin invalid, spin invalid, spin invalid, spin invalid, valid, valid. That was Eric the Boss Kakasian's qualifying. Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she don't. And in these qualifying sessions, it is imperative that you get a couple of valid laps in there. And in these conditions, even getting a couple of just banger laps in during the first couple of laps that you're able to run before you decide to start pushing it. But either way, you had to get heat generated in the tires, and it is awfully warm, but the track is pretty cool right now despite these conditions. Weather predictions look like heavy rain minus, heavy rain minus over the next 30 minutes. So slightly improving, but not really by much. Drivers will definitely not be taking dry tires here during this race as the cocaine car drives over the line and does not improve, with 34.9 to the 34.7 being his best. Evans Vorg in that cocaine McLaren is going to be pushing a little bit harder. Here's Wes Romery getting over the line in 22nd position, best lap last lap being a 136.5. Sean Chez, Nelson Hernandez with 136 to their name, with James May sandwiched in between them. Senior Tarugo is a 135.8 driver right now, and where is he? Oh, there goes Kevin Palaniuk jumping all the way up into 16th position. We've got things jumbling up between the pros and the pro-ams as Palaniuk's trying to chase down Evans Vogue in the championship. Grant Sahara is already done with his. He's into the pits right now. And here's Wes Romery again, improving by a couple tenths. But here's Sean Chez really doing great things in this McLaren. He's got 3 tenths up on his best lap right now as he approaches Hawthorne Bend at turn 5. He's still maintaining that time pretty well. Palaniuk's improving. Zorg is improving. Seems like the drivers are getting into the rhythm of this wet, tricky condition. Alan Young for the Brundle 2 car in the 668 from Canada. He's holding on, but not doing too well with his lap times right now. 209 his last lap around, but 137.9 being his best. There goes Evans Vogue getting to the line with a 134.832. He's awfully consistent, I must say. And that's the thing that will be the key to victory, in my opinion, is how consistent can you keep your car during this grueling 40-minute race. You can see how much spray is coming off the back of these cars as we're on the rear wing of Bradley Smith for Kessel Racing in the number 74. 45 minutes, that's right, not just 40 minutes. Thank you for the correction, sir. Mandatory pit stop will be required. Tire change will be mandatory, so we'll be seeing a lot of the drivers probably switch right around the middle part of this race. Although I would be preferable to doing a splash and dash type strategy, despite having to take tires. Nyrads, what's up? Arms might seize during this one, to be honest. Ooh, that can't be good. Got arm trouble, and there goes Evans Vogue off for the end of his qualifying session. Although tires are mandatory, I would still go for a splash and dash type strategy towards the end of the stint, because you'd be able to drive these tires pretty much to the end of the 45-minute stint, and then you'd be able to pass a lot of people out on track, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are going to have mistakes, end up going to the pits. If you can just overcut them for as long as possible, that might be the strategy to pick, or it could be wrong. Maybe a strategy to pick would be to take tires early, especially with the 90-second track. I think that drivers will get clumped up pretty easily, and if you take an early pit stop or try to split it down the middle, you're going to run into lap traffic. Nope, just a super stressful race. Yeah, I could only imagine. My back would not be too happy with a race like this, working the wheel so much, and my core would definitely be engaged for these types of events. These types of events really make me want to fire up the wheel and give it a go again, though. I miss it so much. Oh, if he retires mid-race, he has a family matter he may need to tend to, just depending on timing. That'll be sad to see. Norris Yu, excuse me, has done great things, and I love to see him racing, so him to drop out would not be a great event. But, of course, we understand that real lives matter. I killed one. I killed a fly. I have this disgusting fly problem in my house right now, and my landlord lended me an electric bug zapper, and I am just like karate chopping, slapsticking these flies away. And this electric zapper is just insane. If you haven't ever got one, I highly recommend it. So good. So good. I was thinking about getting one of those salt guns, the bug assaults, the little shotgun salt sprayers. Oh man. No, that click was My bug zapper going off. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't think it would go through on the mic. Qualifying session is wrapping up, the 135 and the 668 to finish off this qualifying session. Just to make you sleep well at night. If your fly problem, a dead nobody problem. English, Eric? English? Por favor? Is your fry problem a dead nobody problem? Is my fly problem maybe a dead body problem? Is that what you're trying to say? A dead body problem. Hopefully not a dead body problem.
Alright, conditions are wet. We have
Take a look at the calendar one more time. Barcelona, Donington Park, Coda, Indianapolis, Brands Hatch, Hungaroring, 24 Hours of Nürburgring, Spa, Kyalami, Suzuka, and Watkins Glen. If you haven't already, we're going to activate all of the Twitch commands in just a second. Stand by as we do our grid walk. We run a quick 30-second ad. All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's do the starting grid and check out how the drivers are doing. Neil Kerbel in first place, holding on to a 133.527 in the 395. Mike Bowens in P2 with the 119, only 0.2 back from Neil Kerbel. And we got Daniel Hirsch in P3, 7.37 seconds back. And we've got Joshua Rodriguez in the number 93 in fourth place, 0.8 back. Spencer Braun in the number 7 for Braun GP Racing. Oliver Sorgen in the number 38 for the Petronas car. Eric the Boss Gakassian is in P7 with the number 55 with the Armenian flag. Paul Hohen in the number 22, repping the Ford Mustang in the number 22. Burt Macklin, the Mac Attack, in the number 4 in 9th place. We got Mitch Nyardi from Canada in the number 32 in 10th place. Evans Vogue in the number 52 from Canada, 1.215 back. Cooper Atherton in the pink and blue 720 is in the 720 in 12th place. Kevin Palaniuk for Team Bluey in the number 19 in 13th place. Bradley Smith from the Australia country, in the number 74. Norris Yu in the 530 from Canada in the number 15. Don Donovan in the 333 in 16th place. Philip Suazo in the 213 from the USA. And then we got Frank Castle in the number 18 in the number 5, also in a Mustang. Sir Tarugo in the number 8, and he is in the number 19. Grant Zahara in the number 23 for Yeti Powered Car. Wes Romery in the number 444 from the More Power Car. Don Fossman in the number 11 in 22nd place. Nelson Hernandez in the number 3 is in 23rd position. Sean Ches in the number 16 and 24th for Captain Ches in the Party Pickles. Alan Young in the 668 for Brundle 2 car in the number 25. James May is in the 555 Pennzoil Ford Performance car in 26. Jay Paisa in the number 135 in the lone Audi on this grid from Canada. The Brundle 1, is Tyler Morgan in an Aston Martin. Boogie Watt in the 410 in 29th, and we've got Russell Stanford in the number 20 in 30th position. And the race is on, folks. We're about to get running here at the Degenerate Racing League. I put the links in the comments, so if you're interested in joining, go ahead and join the Discord and check them out. Message one of the admins for a potential spot that may be available for one of the people that has dropped out so far. Got one more race before we get to the halfway point, so time is limited to get into this championship. Really short formation here, everybody. Pretty much going straight into 2x2 formation right off the bat. No time to heat up the tires whatsoever. Look at that spray that's coming up. It is absolutely intense out there. Neil Kerbel trying to find his box. Mike Bowen also trying to find his box. Green, green, green. Just about to be Mike Noss. The drivers are ready to go. Away we go. Here's on the rear wing of Daniel Hirsch. Let's get a helicam of the leaders right now. It looks like Spencer Braun almost got ran into that Porsche there in the background. We've got 7 different manufacturers in the top 7, and they're all going to negotiate these corners very differently as Neil Kerbel takes away the lead in P1. Cooper Atherton gets involved in a little bump and grind with Burt Macklin, but everything is all good. There goes Daniel Hirsch in the background, trying to make a look on Mike Bowen, but can't really make a move just yet. He's caught in the slipstream, trying to duck out behind the rooster tail that is Eric Gakosian as well. Not following Joshua Rodriguez, as Joshua Rodriguez just drove off the track, seemingly. Paul Hohen and Burt Macklin having a little bit of an incident, touching there for just a moment, but everything seems to be going okay. Maybe a little bit of drifting out wide, but nothing too bad to write home about. Look at the limited visibility that's available, and there goes Cooper Atherton trying to get a move done on Burt Macklin. They're waiting in the wings, but can't really make a move just yet. Now we approach Sheen's curve and Sterling's curve. There goes Cooper Atherton, really trying to do something early on in this race with Burt Macklin. You could see the way he is absolutely pushing that car on Burt Macklin as hard as possible early on. I'm not sure that's going to be the best strategy right now. We talked a little bit about it before the race began. I'm not sure what the best strategy would be for some of these drivers, staying out as long as possible or perhaps trying to pit early. I definitely don't think that splitting it down the middle would be the most optimum choice to stick with. All the drivers having different things happening. There was a big tank slapper for Burt Macklin. And there goes Cooper Atherton trying to make a move, going up the inside line of Burt Macklin. And Macklin just goes off at turn 4, Suertes. And he is done and dusted there. Burt Macklin rejoining the track, trying to get behind Evans Vogue. Pace will be important here, folks. Your consistency will be the most important thing to showcase how well you're able to navigate these things. Cooper Atherton's already gained 4 positions. Joshua Rodriguez has lost out on 6, and Burt Macklin's lost out on 3 from the start. Here goes Sorgen trying to go after Daniel Hirsch. Caught in the mist, though, and hopefully not the red mist. Just in the blink of an eye, things have separated from these two. Now Eric Gagosian trying to get past Oliver. And again, things come back and forth as all these different cars are negotiating these wet conditions a lot differently than each other. Some of them are faster in some corners and some of them are faster in others. So it's a real challenge to try to negotiate these properly as Cooper Atherton's trying to make up more positions, chasing down Paul Hohen out in front. That's 720S trying to do things in the wet with this Mustang. Cooper Atherton's been a good intimidator so far. Intimidated Burt Macklin into a mistake and potentially can force another one out of Paul Hohen. Neil Kerbel leads Mike Bowen, Spencer Braun, Daniel Hirsch, Oliver Sorgen. There's your top five. Eric Gagosian is down into sixth place. Paul Hohen, Cooper Atherton, Mitch Nyardi, Joshua Rodriguez. Eric still maintaining really close gap to Oliver out in front still. Trying to find an opportunity will be the key though. You're really going to have to try to force a mistake, and there goes Eric trying to make a lunge after it. Obviously not expecting Oliver to go that slowly. Now he's on the inside, headed into Druids. Can he make a move? He's not fully alongside, has to back out of it very slowly and timidly. Gagosian was about 0.3 faster on that last lap than Sorgen was. Missing an apex there won't help the cause though. Taking a look at the battles up and down the grid, things are pretty well separated between them. Daniel Hirsch chasing down Spencer Braun for Braun GP. That Porsche has got to be feeling awfully squirrely here. Oh, Gagosian has a mistake. Gagosian has an uncharacteristic mistake. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 55. Coming into the corner, does okay. Doesn't touch the exit curbing, it looks like. And then just goes a little bit deep possibly and gets a tank slapper. Yep, that's exactly what happens. And he goes off into the kitty litter. And that'll be it for Gagosian's effort. He's down into 15th place. Those tires are going to be hot and he's going to have almost no choice but to come in a little bit early. Here goes Grant Zahara on the inside of Suazo. Suazo leaves plenty of space there as Zahara is able to go through. Pace difference was pretty big there. 36 to a 34, Grant Zahara. Let's see his predictions right now. He's gained 4 positions already right off the bat. His pace is coming in with him right now. He's doing 34s. That's up there with some of the leaders even. Spencer Braun did a 34.2 last lap around, 34.3 for Hirsch. Sorgen's doing 33s. Paul Hohen is doing 34 once, 34, 34, 34, all the way down to Joshua Rodriguez. Eric Gagosian trying to get past Team Bluey now. Made a look up the inside, didn't really go for it though. That was at turn 5, and now he does it at turn 6. He is able to get through at the Westfield Bend, and Team Bluey is going to be blue in the face after that one, and now under threat from Grant Zahara in the background even. Feel like if you get passed by 1, you might get passed by 2 here at this circuit, with how close the drivers are all racing. Let's take a look forward. This is Joshua Rodriguez behind Mitch Nyardi, behind Paul Hohen, on board with Nyardi right now as he's chasing down Paul Hohen. Whoa, there goes Joshua Rodriguez trying to make his recovery drive a little bit more successful. Going for a move on Nyardi was not opportunistic there. Nyardi going super defensive on the entrance to Druids, and Joshua Rodriguez cannot do anything about that one. Oh, Frank Castle, though, trying to go around the outside of Philip Suazo. Can't make anything happen there. Not at Druids, and at turn 3 of the Graham Hill Bend takes another look on the inside. And Suazo defends very well. Back to the Paul Hohen Nyardi Joshua Rodriguez battle. Battle between 7, 8, and 9, all in class as well. Whoa, almost running to the back of Paul Hohen out in front. Nyardi backs right out of that. Doesn't want to let Joshua Rodriguez through as well, as he had to back off pretty abruptly there. And Hohen's able to escape with his life for just one more day. Bradley Smith seemingly having an accident. The number 19. Here goes Josh Rodriguez. He's being a little impatient now, trying to go the long way around the outside of the Paddock Hill Bend. Going for a switchback at the entrance of Druids. Can he get it done? Nyardi defends very well. And Joshua Rodriguez gets passed by Burt Macklin, actually, and that entire battle goes backwards for Joshua Rodriguez. And in the background of that, Zvog gets passed by Norris Yu in the battle for 12th and 11th. Amazing racing all around. Amazing racing all around from all of these drivers. They're all doing phenomenally well to stay very close, but very, very well defended on each other. That was an excellent move by Nyardi to block off Joshua Rodriguez's efforts, but that allowed Burt Macklin to slip right on in, right when he needed an opportunity. Came from a long way back as well, and Joshua Rodriguez took the predictable line and stayed out of the way of Burt Macklin's attack. Grant Zahara chasing down Eric Gakosian now, and looks like Grant Zahara may get a wheel well along the inside, and he does right here. And now it's going to be the outside line for the final curve, though, and he might get a switchback engaged, but not enough pace there to really drag it out with Eric Gakosian. That GTR is going to pull away potentially, but Grant Zahara is not giving up, looking to the inside of the Paddock Hill Bend. But Eric Gakosian is going to cover it off and still maintain the momentum he needs to be able to defend that properly. Good job. Oh no, and Eric has a mistake at Druids. And he loses the position anyways to Grant Zahara. See if we can go back 30 seconds and see what happened to Gakosian here at Druids. Oh, just lost it on entry, riding those brakes a little bit and got the car spun around a little too much there. And that'll be the demise of Eric Gakosian for now. Let's talk about the leaders: Neil Kerbel, Mike Bowen, Spencer Braun, Daniel Hirsch, Oliver Sorgen, all in the top 5. Doing 31s right now for Neil Kerbel, his last lap being his best lap, 35.502. 32s for Mike Bowen, 32.5 for Spencer Braun, Daniel Hirsch with a 32.5 as well, 32.4 for Sorgen. Cooper Atherton's doing 32.6s, 32.7s for Hohen. Nyardi with a 32.7, 32.6 for Burt Macklin. So everybody's seemingly right where they're supposed to be. Burt Macklin's trying to gain some momentum though, and you can see him pushing a little bit too hard there at the exit of Druids, and on the entrance to the Graham Hill Bend, he's trying to do his best to catch up to Nyardi. Oh, Eric Gakosian has another incident. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, just cooking it a little bit at the entrance of turn one. Those tires have got to be just screaming at him right now, telling him, give it up. He's got to go to the pits sooner rather than later on this stint. 31 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. We've got plenty of time for recovery drives to be able to take place. But patience will be the virtue here as Sean Chez, wow, going all the way out to the green stuff there. I figured it'd be puddles of water everywhere you look, but he seems to be negotiating that line very well, chasing down Jay Paisa. Daniel Hirsch chasing down Spencer Braun of Braun GP from Hirsch Motorsports. Oh no, Neil Kerbel having an incident. Let's see what happened to the 395. 395 coming into Druids, and that GTR gets on throttle and seemingly just touches a curb there. Now he's going curb to curb, and he got his wheel along that curb, decided to hit the brakes on entry, and that's what spun him around and down into second place now. Gave up position to Mike Bowen. The 55 again spun around somewhere out on track at turn one, it looks like. Gakassian and Paisa going after it, toe-to-toe, blow for blow here at turn three. Switchback for Gakassian, gets through on Paisa, and it looks like Don Fosterman might get through as well on Paisa. Will he do it? He sure does. That's a good overtake. Gonna take a moment to hydrate real quick. Stand by. As if the drivers need any water out there. Daniel Hirsch gaining some momentum, chasing down Spencer Braun. We've got lap traffic getting involved. Slowing down Spencer Braun. Daniel Hirsch was going to go for a move there at turn three into turn four, but couldn't really go for it there because that other AMG was blocking the way. AMG on AMG crimes, it seems. Still managing to maintain a gap of just around 3/10 from Hirsch to Spencer Braun. Now filling up the rear wing of Spencer Braun is Daniel Hirsch, really just lurking and lingering there, waiting for any mistake. He's going to try to make an opportunistic look and just force an error out of the car in front. That's going to be the best move that you can make. Now getting out of the slipstream just a little bit. Spencer Braun drives away just momentarily, and Daniel Hirsch is being able to work that AMG pretty well down the straights to keep it back up. Neil Kerbel nips a fastest lap of the race with 31.227 to his name. Brent Castle in the number 5 having an incident. Let's take a quick look at that. And he seems to be doing okay until he is just not doing okay. Drives straight into the gravel and bumps himself right off the track. Eric Gakassian was able to get past Wes Romery in the background of that as we were looking at that replay. And Eric Gakassian did take a pit stop pretty early now. He did take tires, so that's all done and dusted for him. Now he's battling for positions overall out on track. Only 20 seconds drift from Nelson Hernandez. And Buggy Watt right in front. Looks like Cooper Atherton's coming out of the pits right now, taking his split down the middle, it seems. Whoa, talk about crossing the white line. There's a bit of a cross there, and there is just a gaggle of cars trying to get through on back markers now. That's Wes Romery just caught in the middle there and gets bumped in the rump. I think that might be Norris Yu involved in that. It was. And Oliver Sorgen having an incident, the number 38. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's see if we can get a quick recap of what happened to Oliver. Oh, he just spun it at Clark Curve all on his own and having to back on a track just a little bit and get himself rolling. So Oliver is going down the order. Got passed by Palaniuk. He's dropped all the way down into the towards 11th place. Evans Vogue into the pits as well. Burt Macklin chasing down Nayardi this time. Burt Macklin's going to try to make Nayardi go for it. This battle's been brewing for a while. Joshua Rodriguez has still stayed in touch. He's only 1 second adrift away from Nayardi, but Nayardi's a great defender, it seems, as Macklin tries to go for the optimum line, forcing Nayardi to slow down a little bit and into a mistake, but Nayardi is really holding on to the best of his abilities. You can see the positions gained on the left-hand side of your screen, just to the right of the number plates. Russell Stanford's gained 11 places overall so far, and it looks like Macklin's up 2. Joshua Rodriguez is down 4 after the start of the race. He's battled it out pretty hard. Oh, Macklin's pushing really hard right now. Those tires have got to be screaming as well. Daniel Hirsch gets by Spencer Braun of Braun GP just through the pit cycle alone. Nothing to write home about there so far. Taking a look at Wes Romery, as Wes is holding down 30th position in the 444, but he has taken his pit stop already, and a lot of the drivers are taking their pit stops as well. Paul Hohen, Spencer Braun, Grant Zahara, Oliver Sorgen, all taking their pit stops during this time. 24 minutes left on the clock, folks. Plenty of time left to go. And Norris Yu, the partner of Mitch Nayardi, is chasing down Joshua Rodriguez now. Joshua must think he's seeing double. He's like, I already passed this car before. I thought I was going to pass him one time. And now he's going to try to get past me. How does this work? But those two Galaxy cars are of different drivers in that team. And one of my favorite liveries that I've seen out on track for sure. The 530 of Norris Yu. It's weird not seeing a number plate on the side of that car, but cool at the same time. Here it is. Here's a move for an opportunity at Clark Curve. Switchback, potentially so, behind Joshua Rodriguez. No, Rodriguez goes into the pits right away, doesn't want to battle it out with Norris Yu, and decides to go for the undercut. Kevin Palaniuk also getting by Rodriguez right now in the pit stop cycle. Pit stoppers so far: Braun, Cooper Atherton, Paul Hohen, Evans Vogue, James May, Sorgen, Zahara, Eric Akasi, and Wes Romery, Nelson Hernandez, and Buggy Watt. No, Nelson Hernandez and Buggy Watt are in the pits right now, have not completed their pit stops just yet. Nelson Hernandez on his way out of the pit stop. Suazo is in the pits, and Joshua Rodriguez into the pits, Alan Young into the pits, Sean Ches, and Russell Stanford all into the pits still. Mike Bowen, Neil Kerbel, Daniel Hirsch, Mitch Nayardi, Burt Macklin. There's your battle for the lead right now. This is a battle between 4th and 5th, between Nayardi and Burt Macklin, between 4th and 5th position. Burt Macklin's doing some good lap times. His last lap was a 32 flat compared to the 32.6 of Nayardi out in front, so you know he's got some pace beneath him, and Nayardi is a cork in the bottle right now. Perhaps Burt Macklin might start to think about doing an undercut Let's see if he decides to come into the pits this time around. No, the answer is absolutely not. He's going to stay behind Nyardi for a few more laps, it seems. But Daniel Hirsch enters the pits, gets to his box, stops very nicely. Looks like no issue there. Spencer Braun trying to get around Paisa. This is positioned for just on track, really, because Paisa has not taken a pit stop yet, but he is getting held up by a little bit behind this blue Audi. Eric Gakassian again with a yellow. Spencer Braun getting back his positions that he lost earlier in the race with his pit stop, jumping up a couple of drivers that are still stationary. Still doing a good job. There goes a move on the inside of turn 3. Will it be clean and tidy? I think so. The Audi gives a lot of breath there for Spencer Braun to be able to drive right on through. Good job, good driving. Here's Nyardi and Burt Macklin once again. Macklin somehow able to get around Nyardi. We must have missed that opportunity. I don't see an incident for the 32. This one was a while ago, the 32 and the 55 getting involved in an accident. Let's take a quick look and see what happened here. This must be what happened. Trying to get around Eric Gakassian, 32 and the 55 must get into an accident, and that allows Macklin to get through. Here goes Nyardi trying to get through on the 55 and then colliding there, and Macklin's able to just drive right on by like nothing really happened. And that's what happened to Gakassian's race in 22 right now in the number 55, but he's chasing down Alan Young in the 668. Ooh, Joshua Rodriguez trying to make moves on Paul Hohen, a little door banging there at Druids, but they seem to be doing all right, and Joshua Rodriguez is through. That is a pass for position overall. They have both taken their pit stops so far. Evans Vogue and the Cocaine McLaren going real fast because he's doing all that cocaine. And there goes Rodriguez again past another back marker. 93 is now chasing down Norris Yu, who got by during the pit stop cycle. Mike Bowen's on his way out of the pits right now, right in front of Frank Castle, who's got heated up tires. He has not taken his pit stop yet, but Bowen should inherit the lead of this race if all things go well for Bowen. Here's Nyardi into the pits. Let's see where he comes out in relationship to Joshua Rodriguez. Joshua Rodriguez coming out of the final corner right now. You might get caught in a Galaxy sandwich. No, the two Galaxy cars come out nose to tail, side by side. And Joshua Rodriguez is squirming, looking for an opportunity to get past any one of them. He doesn't care which one he passes. He just wants to get past one of them during this pit stop cycle. Making a look at the inside of turn 3. He's got a wheel well along the inside, but that might end in tears. Wow! Inches separating those two drivers. Joshua Rodriguez with good heads-up display right there. Neil Kerbel having another excursion off track in the 395. This is the infield at turn 3 is where that happened. Oh no, Rodriguez and Nayardi collide. And that's going to be an incident for the stewards. The 93 and the 32 get involved. Let's take a look at the incident that just took place. '93 is carrying a ton of speed right now. He's not really looking like he's trying to make a move, and it looks like the car in front just slowed down a little bit more than he expected. I'm not sure he would have made that corner without the incident, though. Again, one for the stewards to review. Oliver Sorgen chasing down Palaniuk. We've got a pack of cars out in front, though. Beautiful livery for the Petronas BMW team from Oliver Sorgen. And Suazo has an incident of his own, goes off at turn 1, it looks like. Resuming his race, getting back on track. 15 minutes left on the clock, everybody. The race is winding down. We're in the final third of this battle. Burt Macklin staying out as long as possible. Neil Kerbel into the pits finally. And I don't know where he's going to end up out on track, though. He's on his way out as well. So it looks like Neil Kerbel will stay in 4th place overall. But Frank Castle and Burt Macklin both have to pit, so hopefully he can regain his track position and get back into 2nd as long as he doesn't have any more uncharacteristic mistakes. And the number 19 having an incident. Let's take a look and see what happened to the number 19. Kevin Palaniuk dipping a wheel off into the grass, drifting through turn 4, trying to get through on Norris Yu, and then just cooks it, it looks like. Oh no, that was Nayardi. That was Nayardi he was trying to get by and just cooked it all on his own. Now Nayardi trying to get around Sorgen in the battle for 13th and 14th position overall. Both of them have taken their pit stops at this point in time. The 38 leads the number 32. Doing a great job of holding on to these positions after that incident that bequeathed Nayardi, and he's doing a good job driving forward and keeping focused in these treacherous conditions. Eric Kossin as well, speaking of treacherous conditions, has faced better days in the rain, I'm sure, but he's doing pretty well right now in the number 55. He's in 19th position out of the 30 drivers that have taken to the track so far. And Joshua Rodriguez trying to chase down Jay Paisa in the number 135. Jay Paisa holding on to the optimum line, late on the brakes for Joshua Rodriguez, sends it, and the number 93 is through and into 9th place for Rodriguez. Jay Paisa's into the pits. Now Rodriguez has got, oh, it looks like Norris Yu has spun and Joshua Rodriguez is going to pass right on by and get another position. That's 2 on 1 lap. Great things for Joshua Rodriguez. He does not have to combat with any more vehicles. He's got 9 seconds ahead to Cooper Atherton and 2.1 back to Paul Hohen. Bradley Smith trying to chase down Grant Zahara. And Tarugo is chasing down Alan Young. Towards turn 1, braking in a straight line is Tarugo. Timid to get on the throttle at the crest there. Shifting up early to not trigger the TC too much. patiently applying throttle again on the outside of Druids, and at turn 3 just touching the curb a little bit, and that unsettles the car and provides some oversteer there, triggers the TC also. If Joshua Rodriguez is not careful, Paul Hohen may get a pass for position now, as Joshua Rodriguez seems to be pushing himself a little bit too hard. Oliver Sorgen chasing down the cocaine cowboy that is Evans Vogue. Chasing him down, doing it hard and wet. Number 38 chasing down the 52 in that McLaren out in front. That DRL logo reminds me of the Oreo symbol. Anyone agree? I think it's true. That's all that matters. There goes Oliver Sorgen trying to get past. It looks like not a pass for position. Zorg just complicit in that, and Oliver Sorgen goes through. Wow. Good job there negotiating that. Doing a pretty decent job out on track, everybody. But here goes Neil Kerbel in 4th place overall. Take a look and see at the pace right now. Neil Kerbel doing 132.5, still holds on to the fastest lap of a 131 flat. He has taken his pit stop. Frank Castle and Burt Macklin both need to be pitting sooner rather than later. And Neil Kerbel has got them both covered off right now in the pit stop cycle. So if Burt Macklin and Frank Castle both pit, they would definitely come out behind Neil Kerbel with the pace that he's running right now. Here's Tarugo taking a look at Young out in front. Making a look on the outside line, breaking in a straight line towards turn 1. The number 8 Bingo seems to be holding on just fine, but can't get past Alan Young despite having slightly better pace, about a half second per lap right now. The gap keeps slinking back and forth. The Team Bluey car are trying to do optimum things on an optimum line, but just can't get past. Oh no, Grant Zahara gets the commentator's curse the second we look at him. And where's Bradley Smith? Bradley Smith having a yellow flag incident. Let's take a quick look at his accident. Going through the double right-handers, it looks like. Oh, has a big wiggle there on the steering wheel. And that'll shake things up for him, and he's going to lose 2 positions overall. Tucks in behind Grant Zahara after Team Bluey passed him as well. 7.5 minutes left in this session, and we will be wrapping things up just in due time. Burt Macklin leads Mike Bowen, leads Neil Kerbel and Frank Castle. Oh, and there goes Grant Zahara goes off, and Bradley Smith is back right on through. Positions come, positions go, and it's all down to mistakes and consistency at the end of this race. Even bequeathing Neil Kerbel with a couple of mistakes this one. But everybody doing a great job. Daniel Hirsch chasing down Spencer Braun. This is a repeat of what we saw before the pit stop cycle took place. And now the battle has resumed between the two of them. Daniel Hirsch losing about 4 seconds in that pit stop over Spencer Braun. I wonder if he may have missed his pit box or something of the like. It looks like Hernandez and Paisa involved in an accident. Things are going good right now. Things are going very well. Burt Macklin's on his way into the pits to finish off this race, and Frank Castle's got to be thinking about the same thing here shortly. Only 2 drivers that have not taken their pit stop yet, Macklin being the last of them, and Frank Castle not just yet. Mike Bowen re-inherits P1 of this race, as he should. Macklin gives another position to Neil Kerbel in just a few moments as the 395 is about to get around the number 4. There goes Frank Castle in 4th place, pitting as well for the final time. Oh, Spencer Braun having a little off there at turn 1. It looks like he's going to be set up for failure as Hirsch is going to try to get one through on him. Whoa, 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 big drift there out of Spencer Braun, and this is going to allow Daniel Hirsch along the inside towards Druids. Will it be done and dusted? No, nice switchback from Spencer Braun. Holy Toledo. Can't even get the words out of my mouth, and now they're going to go back side by side through turn 3. Hirsch holds on for just a little bit, but there goes Spencer Braun taking a look on the inside towards turn 4 and gets another switchback, and he touches Daniel Hirsch, and that'll be the end of this epic battle between these 2 drivers. Man, what a race we are watching here today live on ACC with the Degenerate League, exclamation point DRL if you're interested in joining the group of people that you are watching race here today. Go ahead and message some of the admins to see if you can get yourself a spot at this race every Tuesday starting at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tarugo still trying to work with Alan Young here for the battle for 20th and 21st, 19th and 18th position overall. And Wes Romery and Russell Stanford slinking back and forth with time gained as well. Three minutes left on the clock for the race leader, and the number 20 of Russell Stanford and Wes Romery seemingly to have an accident. Let's take a look back and see what happened here. 44 and the number 20. Oh, and the 444 just goes a little deep on the number 20 and just misjudged their brake points for sure. Yellow flags are waved, and hopefully Russell Stanford can get back around the 444. And Joshua Rodriguez now trying to trail down Daniel Hirsch, as I think he's got to get around Paisa one more time. That is Paisa out in front, and he's able to negotiate that back marker very well as Paisa just dips out of the way before Clark Curve. Tarugo chasing down Alan Young again. This is a battle that seemingly won't stop between these two as Bingo really trying to do work and get around Young before the end of this one. Pretty nip and tuck here between all the drivers.
Now, give it all you can.
The leaders on the final lap, as you just heard, the 119 leads by a quarter of a lap over the 395. About 15 seconds separating the two of them. Then the number 7 is Spencer Braun, Cooper Atherton, Burt Macklin, Daniel Hirsch, Joshua Rodriguez having a yellow flag incident. And no, he's off, and Paisa's back through, but Paul Hohen might be back through on him as well. No, he resumes his race right in the nick of time to not be involved with Paul Hohen's battle. And Paisa's not battling that McLaren out on track right now. They just look like they are. Joshua Rodriguez under threat from Paul Hohen on the final lap. 93 and the 48. Separated by about 8 seconds now. The 22 is the one we've got to look out for. The Mustang lurking in the background. And the 119 is going to cross the line right behind the 55. The 119 takes the win. That's Mike Bowen's car. Amazing drive from Mike Bowen. Way to keep it consistent. Didn't have a single incident, it looks like, on his car. Nice, clean drive out of him to take the race win. Good job, Mike Bowen, and congratulations. Neil Kerbel takes home P2. Spencer Braun in P3. And Cooper Atherton will take home P4. P4 for Cooper Atherton. Burt Macklin will take home 5th. Daniel Hirsch in 6th. Joshua Rodriguez in 7th. Paul Hohen in 8th. Norris Yu in 9th. Oliver Sorgen in the top 10. Mitch Nayardi is going to bring home 11th position. Kevin Palaniuk is going to bring home 12th. Bradley Smith in 13th. Grant Sahara in 14th. Frank Castle in 15th. Eric Gakassian with a great recovery drive into 16th. Hopefully, maybe, hopefully so. Number 17, the Philip Souza has already crossed the line in the 213. Alan Young in the 668. Number 8 goes to 19th place. That's Tarugo. Sean Ches in 16th. Evans Vogue in 52 goes 21. Nelson Hernandez in 22nd. Wes Romery, Russell Stanford, Jay Pice, Tyler Morgan, Don Donovan, Buggy Watt, and Don Fossman finishing out this race. If the drivers who won in their class want to get an interview, please send me a DM or I will drag you myself into the chat. Stand by.
Kicking into high gear, the race is on.
Let's see if we can find Mike Bowen. I don't see Mike Bowen anywhere, so no interview for Bowen. Palaniuk. See if we can grab Palaniuk in for an interview. Oh, did Mike Bowen just join? No. Grab Palaniuk in. Mr. Palaniuk, how are you doing, sir?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm living the dream. It looks like you won in your category. Is that correct?
I actually don't know. Did I?
You were P12 overall on the standings from what I could tell, and it looks
Yeah,
like
that I know.
and it looks like you beat out a couple of other drivers out on track. I'm not seeing anybody else with a gray banner in front of you on the standing, so that means that you won in your championship, I hope.
Oh wow! Holy shit! That was a tough race.
No, talk us through some of that stuff. You saw a lot of drivers off track in front of you. Did you have any off track or scary moments yourself?
Yeah, I actually did once. I had Nairadi got slightly off track, and I overtook him, and then just a little bit overstood the brake. So I spun out, lost 2 positions. So I had to recover a couple more positions. But yeah, a lot of spin out, like across the board. Yes, hopefully
Yeah.
nobody hit me. But the beginning, it's so horrible. Like I could see nothing
Yeah.
at all.
The
It was
rooster tails were
so-
pretty intense, right?
Yeah, literally, I could see nothing. I like on the turn 1, I didn't know where to brake. I just tried not to hit the car ahead of me. Like I literally saw nothing. Like it was just all gray.
And that's not a graphic setting that you can change. That's just how much water was being spit up in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes, it was ridiculous.
It was a fun
Oh, yeah.
race for all. And how about overtaking? How was the overtaking opportunities for you here? I didn't see a lot of too many close battles or overtaking maneuvers, but how did you negotiate overtaking some of the cars you did have to get past?
So the couple actual overtakes that I did, those were scary. Actually, I didn't think I would be able to do any overtakes on this track, and when I think I overtook someone in like after the first couple laps, after the first straight, which I think was maybe a bit divey, but I was surprised myself that I was able to overtake someone. But it's a couple spin outs, some people making mistakes that allowed for most of the overtakes. I think like true battles, I had only a couple of them. I had a nice, very close, actually almost an accident with Nairadi. We actually had a major crash last race. So this race we also almost crashed, like very close. It was so scary. And
Well, I'm glad things ended up nice and clean for you guys this time around. You guys deserve to have a clean race in front of you. And great job, and good job winning in your class, in your division, brother. Congratulations.
thanks a lot.
Is there anybody else that you want to thank, or anything else that we may have missed part of your race that you want to talk about before I let you go?
No, just very, very intense driving.
Very intense driving for sure. I'm going to try to grab, I think Bradley Smith is next on the list. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, Kevin Palaniuk, for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bradley Smith. Not seeing Bradley Smith, and I'm not seeing Mike Bowen either. That might be it for interviews then, unless anybody wants to come into the booth and come hang out with me. Feel free to go ahead and do so. We're going to run these replays to their bitter end. What an amazing race, though. Like Palaniuk said, awfully tough to get these passes done on track overall, or at all even. So a lot of the overtakes that were happening seemingly being a surprise, I think, to a lot of people. Here's a recap of Neil Kerbel's yellow flag incident where he spun out just touching the curb, got out on the slippery stuff, and let Mike Bowen through for the lead. That was a tough one to watch. Lap 10. Lap 10 as well. Paisa and Fossman getting through, and then Eric the Boss Kakasian trying to fight back as well, and Fossman just being able to slip through on the 135. And that was a great three-way battle for just a blink of an eye. Burt Macklin getting around Mitch Nyardi. This one was brewing for quite some time, but this is where they got involved with Eric Kakasian out in front, and then Macklin was just able to squeeze right on by on Nyardi, who could not defend any more than he wanted to. Oh, Macklin almost lost it there on exit. I didn't even see that. And Norris Yu tries to go back through on Macklin. Wow. That was epic and close again. Spencer Braun getting around Jay Paisa. This was a lap where Paisa was not on his pit stop strategy yet. So Spencer Braun was able to negotiate that one with relative ease and get past Paisa. Lap 16 of 29. Here's Hirsch's overtake on Paisa. Same thing on lap 16. Paisa not taking his tires yet, and Hirsch seemingly did already. Big old send at T1, able to snake right on by. Another yellow flag for Neil Kerbel, it looks like. This was his second spin of the night, I believe. And there it is, same place, same thing happening. And Oliver Sorgen having one out of sympathy himself does the exact same thing as Neil Kerbel does. Norris Yu getting around Jay Paisa. Same thing on lap 19. Paisa has to take his pit stop sooner rather than later to stop losing all these positions that he's gaining. And here's Joshua Rodriguez doing the same thing, lap 20. And that's when Paisa finally decided to come into the pits just a lap later. This is one we may have missed. Alan Young and Senior Tarugo getting after it. Sorgen getting around Evans Vogue. This might be an accident, actually. No, it ends up being neat and tidy on lap 22 for Sorgen and Zvorg, it looks like. as Sorgen is able to just go right on through at the fast right-handers. And I wonder what happened to Evans Vorg. He was in the lead of his class for a while and then all of a sudden started dropping like a stone towards the end. Maybe he just ran out of cocaine. Here's Kevin Palaniuk getting around Bradley Smith. This was the one pass he was able to make, like he said, that was pretty scary. Bradley Smith and Grant Zahara. Smith goes through on Zahara. Zahara had an off there, and Smith was able to regain one position back over those two that he had lost earlier. Lap 23 of 29. Ooh, a little bit of door banging there between the 444 and the 213 of Paisa. Oh, there's a switchback between him and Daniel Hirsch. That did not go well for Spencer Braun. Probably seeing the stewards after that one. And finally, everybody, the race finish. It looks like the 119 was able to walk away with it today, but only because of these rainy conditions. And not Nelson Hernandez, who am I talking about? Mike Bowen walks away with the win over Neil Kerbel, who had a couple of spins that slowed him down and gave away all that time that he had gained. Only 13.7 seconds back by the checkered flag. And that is going to wrap it up for us tonight, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for hanging out. Hope you had a wonderful stream tonight, and I sure did. If you like what you see, go ahead and leave a like, a subscribe, and this will be uploaded to YouTube by tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you very much, everybody, for all of your lovely comments, entertainments, and the enjoyment that you shared with me tonight. And as always, please remember to please stay safe out there. Have a good night. Bye.